18 times in his gospel, Luke mentions wealth and its dangers. Mary sings about the difference between the poor and the rich before Jesus' birth. Only Luke in his gospel says that the poor shepherds are the first to hear about Jesus' birth. And he notes that Jesus belonged to the poorer classes and that Mary and Joseph brought the sacrifice of the poor to Jesus' circumcision in the temple. He reminds that those who had 2 tunics to give one to those who had none. And all these are found only in the Gospel of Luke. Yet, Jesus isn't against wealth as such in Luke's Gospel. Luke's Gospel exhibits a particular interest in the poor and often cautions us against greed. A man's life is not made secure by what he owns. The essential thing is to be with Jesus, to be Christ-like. And that's a real treasure, the genuine pearl. And this is a recurring theme in Jesus' teaching too. Blessed are you poor is the first beatitude. But it was tough for the Jews to digest, as they considered wealth a blessing from God. 2 brothers tended a farm that their parents left them. The elder was married and had 4 children. The younger was single. The elder brother had his house built on the east side of the property, while his younger brother was on the opposite. And after one abundant harvest, the younger brother thought, it is not fair that my brother and I equally share the harvest. I am alone, and my brother has a family. And not to embarrass his older brother, he would open his barn at night, take 1 sack of grain, and bring it quietly into his brother's barn. Unknown to him, the older brother thought, it is not unfair that we equally divide the harvest. My brother lives all alone, all by himself. I have a wife and 2 children who help and care for me. And so, at 2 o'clock in the morning, he would bring 1 sack of grain to his younger brother's barn. And one dark and rainy night, the 2 brothers bumped into each other in the middle of the field. Both fell carrying their sack of grains. And when they recognized each other, they realized what each was doing. They had a good laugh and hugged each other. Well, this story is opposite of the story of the rich fool in the gospel today. Whereas the 2 brothers opened their barns to share their wealth, the rich man in the gospel did not. In the eyes of God, or he was rich, but a fool in the eyes of God. And being foolish means to keep on getting, while being godly means to keep on sharing. True riches that we can bring to heaven are those we let go and give away, especially when it hurts. When we come home at the end of the day and feel tired of not having done so much for what it takes to earn more for a living, or of not having accomplished anything, perhaps we have missed out on the more significant part of living, that of being happy, being in love, and of having peace and serenity. Are those not the real treasures?